United Nations Secretary General António Guterres says the world is not only witnessing record global warming, but also global political tensions. He was speaking to reporters in New York about what he called the dangerous and avoidable climate emergency and the rising geopolitical tensions, particularly in the Persian Gulf. Now, Guterres has also raised concerns about rising tensions between nuclear-armed states.
He's hosting a climate action summit in September, ahead of the UN General Assembly, with a message to world leaders: don't bother coming if you don't have bold actions and much greater ambitions to announce.
We need to cut greenhouse emissions by 45% by 2030, and we need carbon neutrality by 2050. And we need to mainstream climate change risks across all decisions to drive resilient growth, reduce vulnerability, and avoid investments that could cause greater damage. That is why I'm telling leaders, don't come to the summit with beautiful speeches, come with concrete plans, clear steps to enhance nationally determined contributions by 2020 and strategies for carbon neutrality by 2050.
He also raised the alarm about rising tensions in the Persian Gulf, particularly over the passage of vessels through the strategic Strait of Hormuz and Washington's maximum pressure approach, including Wednesday's sanctioning of Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif.
A minor miscalculation could lead to a major confrontation. I stress the need to respect the rights and duties relating to navigation through the Strait of Hormuz and its adjacent waters in accordance with international law. And I have consistently conveyed a clear message to leaders both publicly and privately in numerous meetings and calls. That message can be boiled down to two words: maximum restraint.
The UN boss also pointed to lessons from the Cold War, with tensions between Washington and Beijing on the rise, in addition to the threat posed by nuclear-armed states.
Looking into the not-so-distant future, I see the possibility of the emergence of two competing blocs, each with their own dominant currency, trade and financial rules, their own internet and artificial intelligence strategy, and their own contradictory geopolitical and military views. We still have time to avoid this. As I said in my address to the General Assembly last year, with leadership committed to strategic cooperation and to managing competing interests, we can steer the world onto a safer path. Thank you.
Arguing that the heating of the global political atmosphere further complicates efforts to resolve not just the aforementioned crises, but the critical situations in Libya, Syria, Yemen, the Palestinian question, and beyond. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.